200,000 people packed into one stadium. Newspapers had already printed the headline, "Brazil, World Champions." Brazil needed only a tie, not a win. A tie. In the final minutes, one man silenced 200,000 people so completely that some in the crowd had heart attacks on the spot. This is the Maracanazo, the biggest upset in football history. 1950. Brazil hosts the World Cup for the first time and builds a stadium unlike anything football has seen, the Maracanazo. Nearly 200,000 capacity, the largest stadium on earth. The team matches the stage. Brazil steamrolls the tournament, 7-1 against Sweden, 6-1 against Spain. This looks like destiny. The final isn't a knockout, it's the last match of a 4-team group. Brazil doesn't even need to win. A draw against Uruguay makes them world champions on home soil, in the stadium built for exactly this moment. Rio's newspaper, O Mundo, prints on matchday morning. These are the world champions, before a ball is kicked. Uruguay is tiny, barely 3 million people. They won the first World Cup in 1930, but by 1950, nobody's talking about them. They only reached the final by backing in. Their captain, Obdulio Varela, hears Brazil already being called champions. On matchday morning, he reportedly buys up every copy of O Mundo near the hotel, so his teammates never see it. Then he tells them, the game hasn't been played yet. Nearly 200,000 people packed the Maracana, still the largest crowd ever at a football match. 2 minutes into the second half, Brazil's Friaça scores, 1-0. The stadium erupts. A draw is now all Brazil needs. Varela slows the game down, arguing with the referee, buying his players time. In the 66th minute, Uruguay's Schiaffino equalizes, 1-1. The crowd goes nervous, not panicked. A draw still wins it for Brazil. Then, in the 79th minute, Uruguay's Alcides Gigia cuts inside on the right and fires low near post. 2-1 Uruguay. What happens next has no real precedent in sports history. 200,000 people who came for a coronation go completely silent. Not booing, just silence. The kind eyewitnesses describe for the rest of their lives. Gigia put it best decades later. Only 3 people have, with a single strike, silenced the Maracana. Frank Sinatra, Pope John Paul II, and me. Brazil can't find an equalizer. Uruguay, this small, unfancied team, are world champions in Brazil's own stadium. There's no ceremony ready for them. FIFA's Jules Rimet hands over the trophy almost quietly, having prepared a speech for the wrong team. Some fans reportedly suffer fatal heart attacks in the stands. Radio announcers break down mid-broadcast. It becomes a night of national mourning. Goalkeeper Moacir Barbosa is made the scapegoat and never plays for Brazil again. Decades later, he says Brazil's maximum prison sentence is 30 years, but he'd been paying for his crime far longer than that. Brazil abandons its all-white kit, considered cursed after 1950, for the yellow, green, and blue we know today. That famous jersey exists because of this loss. Brazil wouldn't fully exercise it until winning their first World Cup in 1958. To this day, Maracanazo describes any catastrophic, unthinkable collapse in Brazil, not just in football, but in life. 200,000 people expected a coronation. What they got was the most silent room in the history of sport.